Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Greg D with an ArkansasMatters.com web extra. Many of you had questions yesterday about what exactly is sleet in the big storm that we saw last night and why did it come with lightning and thunder? That certainly was unusual. First, let me show you this. This is the scene from Susan in Danville. 2 inches of nothing but sleet reported at her house. Sleet, unlike snow, very hard to get some high accumulations like this, so this was an unusual storm. And you really have to get into the setup in the atmosphere yesterday to really explain what happened. Let me show you what was the setup here across central Arkansas. You're looking at a drawing I made here. This is the clouds, the ground down here on the bottom, and an interesting temperature setup in those clouds. Up above about 4,000 feet, the temperatures yesterday were actually in the 50s. The Weather Service sent out a balloon that measured those temperatures, and that's where the thunderstorms started, in the spring-like air. The problem is, near the ground in the bottom 3,000 to 4,000 feet, north winds brought in a thick, heavy layer of cold air. Cold air like molasses kind of oozes at the bottom near the ground, and it was very shallow. So rain fell out of these thunderstorms, all liquid, traveled from the cloud down to the ground until about 4,000 feet. And that's when it encountered air that was below freezing. Every one of those raindrops was in the cold air long enough that you actually had each one of them freeze, and hence the little bouncing beads of ice that were found in windshields and accumulated to several inches in many parts of Arkansas. Now, had this cold layer been a little bit shallower, there would not be enough time for those little raindrops to freeze. And what happens? The rain stays liquid all the way through the atmosphere, drops below freezing, but doesn't freeze until it makes contact with something cold, like the ground or tree or power lines. That's freezing rain. Yesterday, the cold air thankfully was thick enough to provide us with all sleet and not enough to really cause big problems in terms of power outages and downed trees and power lines. That's sleet, and that's what we saw in an unusual storm yesterday here all around Arkansas. Thanks for joining me this afternoon and this day for this ArkansasMatters.com web extra.